CQ. This is November 1, Charlie Lima Charlie. Summit's on the air. Welcome back, everyone. This is it, the last episode of an epic quest of two SOTA operators attempting to activate 19 summits in 6 days. Ted has dreams of becoming a SOTA goat, an activator with 1,000 activation points, but it's not going to be easy. We have 12 more summits to do and only 3 days to get them done. So we're going to battle cold, high winds, forest fires, closed roads, closed off summits, smoked out summits, poor band conditions, and I mean really bad band conditions, and of course some bad video shooting. So in addition, poor Ted's going to have to put up with some of my very bad dad jokes, loads of sarcasm, and wisecracks, of course. But I got to say, Ted's a trooper. I think he can do it. So let's get cracking. We are headed up to Mogollon Rim. Whiskey 7 Alpha Golf Romeo 001. Here with the prospective goat. I wonder if the freeze has messed things up. All right, so we're heading up the road to Mogollon. It's kind of weird. You're just kind of up on a ridge. We're just outside the AZ, so it's easy to get into. All the ones we do today are quick and easy. And Ted is flirting with the idea that he could actually reach 1,000 points and attain mountain goat. So if we keep the pressure up, might be able to do that before we head back. Beautiful day today. Feels like it's about 65. All right, Ted's setting up his K6 ARK random wire. I built it for him a few years ago. And so yeah, gonna be using that today. And we're gonna record his activation while I go over and get some stuff done. I'll get mine done real quick, and then, like I said, these are gonna be shoot and move. The camera is attached to W6TED. I'll give you a view of the top of his head here. That's why it's going kind of crazy. How'd you do, Ted?
Yeah, you know, it was a quick 20-meter activation. I think it got about 8 contacts. Yep.
So, normally I'd feel kind of bad. Go left, right? Yeah, go left. I'd feel kind of bad, you know, bailing on just a couple of bands, but we're doing basically all the core bands for everybody. So go left.
Over the lung. Okay. Yep.
We're gonna hang a little bit more left on the way down.
Okay.
You can probably go around the big one. Anyway, that's sorry about that. Giving directions to my buddy here. So yeah, good activation. I got about the same. Worked France. Got a couple summit to summits, and it's all good day. We're gonna head over to the next one, which is Timber Top. All right, walking up the trail to the activation zone for Timber Top. Just about a mile or two south of Alpine, Arizona. This is a beautiful little trail, old Jeep trail, lined with aspen and oak ponderosa. W6TED in the wild. Setting up.
Setting up. Fremont.
K6EL, Elliot, over in California. '20's crushing it right now. Japan, California, tax summit to summit. So we're here on South Mountain, and we're actually using AA70Y's station, and Ted's just chasing. If we get 4 chasing, then we may just bail off here and go over to Noble Mountain. That would allow us to get another one, because the plan is 4 a day, but if we can get 5 today, then that takes the pressure off the last 2 days, because he's trying to go before we leave town. So
California, SXMTV, Colorado.
all right, I love the fact that as you were keen, the speed was increasing. and Ted just went with it.
Was that SJC?
Yeah.
Too funny. All right, we're having a lot of fun up here, goofing around, just chasing people.
Okay.
Dale's over here scouting. As Ted's working, Dale's scouting the next one, and we're just knocking them off here. I don't know what kind of antenna Dale has here. Okay, South Mountain complete.
Yes, indeed.
We're out of here. We're gonna
Activated South Mountain on 4 summit to summits. We're done. Didn't even have to spot.
We're gonna head over to Noble Mountain next.
Yeah,
let's
do
get cracking.
EV6.
I keep forgetting to shoot summit closing videos. All right, we finished number 4. Ted's driving the Tedmobile down here, and we're going to what's called Prairie Peak over New Mexico. It's about, I want to say 18 miles down the road here, but yeah. So we're going to drop into Alpine. I think a tanker truck of fuel just pulled in, so that means we can fill up again. How many gallons per hour are we burning?
Oh, you know, we're right today we've been getting about 10 miles to the gallon without the trailer. So
okay,
we were doing a little better.
That's about 20 gallons an hour for you pilots
like
out there.
Yep.
You got to feed the beast, man. Yeah, pretty forest up here. Noble Mountain's very pretty. Just had to move a fallen tree out of the way. It's a pretty primitive road. A lot of the New Mexico Forest Service roads are really good shape, but this is pretty primitive. We'll be up here about another mile, and then we'll turn, and we'll see if Ted's rig can make it. I can't do it in my vehicle, so this is a big test here. Okay, this is the first test for the Land Cruiser. Passed with flying colors there. All right, done.
Done.
Summit number 5.
Summit number 5.
Did I get any video of that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you did an intro.
We got some, yeah, I did an intro,
Yep.
got here.
Yep.
We ran sideband, 20 meters, got 8 contacts or something like that.
Yep.
And huge signals from California and Oregon,
Yep.
Washington, yeah.
On 20.
Yeah, yes. 20's been the money band all day. 40 has absolutely sucked wind. We were gonna go 40, and it's like, you know, go to 40, spend 5 minutes to get 1 contact. I know, wah, wah, wah.
When, in fact,
we could be off-roading out of here over all the rocks and getting a beer.
Yeah, so there's a beer in our future just as soon as he can get us off this mountain and over to Tall Wee Wee. So let's do that.
Let's do it.
Out. He is having so much fun. All right, gonna be another epic day of summits here at the Ham Ninja Northeastern Arizona SOTA Operations Center. We're gonna go out and see if we can hit 4 summits, starting with Wall Knoll. See what Ted's doing here. Hey, you ready to roll?
Absolutely, always.
All right.
Let's go do it.
All right. I've been really bad. So I forgot to bring the camera. So I'm using the phone right now. And we just finished our second summit, Lake Mountain. We went over and did Cooley. So here's how the day started. The plan was to do Wall Knoll, which is just outside of the fire area, and then hit these 3 over here, which is Lake Mountain, Wishbone, and Wolf Mountain. Problem is, and I'll put a chart up here, they closed the road farther back than we planned. They've just gotten there and we're putting up roadblocks. So that shut down Wall Knoll. So as an alternate, we went over to Cooley because it's not too far from here on this side of the kind of the highways over here. So it's on the reservation. Went in, got a adventure pass that gives us permission to hike and stuff on the reservation. Cooley was a fairly you drive. You can't drive to the top anymore, so we drove around and then kind of went up underneath this power line. It's extremely steep, but you know, more or less a quick hike up. Man, the conditions were absolutely horrible. The solar conditions. It was like digging a post hole that's full of rocks. To get a contact, you had to really, really work. Ted took 20, and I did everything else I could to get 4 contacts. It took us a long time to really finally get 4 contacts. The bands were just horrible. I lost a couple of contacts in the QSB, but anyway, we got that one done. Band conditions, thankfully, have improved. So, yeah, that's all good. So we're gonna head over to Wishbone right now. It's kind of a difficult hike, and then we got one more to go after that. Ted is mega dosing on summits, 10-point summits, and he's gonna be heading. Looks like we're good for his Goat Mountain tomorrow, probably around 1 p.m. or so. He'll be working off Whiting Knoll, which is a really nice one, pretty good operating position, and no RF up there, so we'll be doing that. Yeah, so that's all to report from this 3. I'll try to remember to get the camera out next time. We're at the Ham Ninja trailhead for Wishbone. I found a cut trail last year, so we're gonna give that one a try going up, so we don't have to less bushwhacking and goofing around, tripping over. There's a lot of deadfall up there, so this will be helpful. What do you think of the adventure so far, Ted?
Been awesome. Just doing one summit after another. Boom, 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 boom. What have we done? Like 12 or 13 now, I think. So
Well, I've lost count.
I lost count. We're just
lost count. Forgot to bring the camera on the last 2.
This one, we came down off the last mountain, drove 1.5 miles, and boom, and you know, pulling the packs out, going out again. So
yeah, long transit, huh?
yeah, long transit. So, barely had time to eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
but we're getting it done. We're getting it done.
Yeah, pro tip, don't ride with Ted when he's trying to eat a sandwich. It gets a little sporting out there. All right, let's hit the trail.
Let's do it.
Off to Wishbone. If you look at the map, I'll put it here. There's no easy way up this thing. Like, I've tried several. And the reason why we're following this way is the cut trail means that all the deadfall was cut away, and it makes it a little bit easier. There was a fire up here a few years ago, so yeah. But windy day, but it's a nice temperature right now, probably about 70. Okay, just gonna say this is a bit frustrating. I got set up in a bad place, and that is just one thing after another. It's one of those summits where you like kind of want to just take all the stuff out of your backpack and throw it. Ted's over there, he's gonna try to get an activation. My activation was kind of a Sierra, so I got to get back on the radio and once he's done. We decided to do one station, but yeah, it's a cluster. Okay, I just want to show you what else we're dealing with. This stuff really hurts when it tears into you. All right, we finished the activation. Ted's over there packing up. We're gonna head over to Wolf Mountain. Out. Ted's opened up the refrigerator in the back, getting us cold drinks. We made it back to the vehicle. It's kind of it's a day. Windy days are just a little bit more frustrating because you got stuff going everywhere. And, yeah. Anyway, we have one more summit to go. We're gonna go up to Wolf Mountain, and then we're gonna get as quickly as we can to a cold beer because I'm ready. So, let's see what Ted thinks about this activation. What did you think about that activation?
It was a good one. It was steep. But at least we found that trail that went up, which made it nice. So just very minimal having to walk over burned trees that were down on the ground. And really one of the high points was seeing that huge elk up there, the big buck with about 5 points on him.
He was huge. Yeah. That was really kind of a surprise.
Yeah. He was right up on the summit.
We were using a trail that was prepped. I found it last year coming down. It's not charted anywhere, but super handy because it with all the down trees and just getting worse and worse, it's really hard to get up there any other way. Ham Ninja trailhead for Wolf Mountain. This is a bushwhack through the forest. So and I've done it a bunch of different ways, and we're going to try to make it as easy as we can. It's only a half mile, but if you go the wrong way, you're getting some really bad stuff. Anyway, we're gonna get up and roll in here. All right, here comes Ted. This is a short hike, but it's very vertical. Already getting some great views though, and it's windy. Good time.
Good times indeed.
Beautiful views already.
It is.
Finished the activation. Windy as heck up here. So we're heading down. Hey, look at that. We're right side up.
Yep.
And we're done for the day. So this morning we hit Lake Mountain. No. First we went to, what was the name of the first one?
The one in the Apache Reservation.
Yeah, it's on the Apache Reservation. Coulee Mountain.
Coulee Mountain, yep.
And then we went to Lake Mountain. That was pretty easy. We just had to walk up a road a mile.
It wasn't bad.
Great operating position up there.
Yep.
Bands were just absolutely horrible.
All day.
To start with. We really had to work super hard just to get forward. Then they started to let up a little bit. Then they improved on the third one, which is Wishbone. And then we're just coming off Wolf Mountain, and they were even better. So the bands are getting there.
Up and down. There was a lot of QSB on this last one.
QSB.
Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for everyone that chased us because it helped.
Absolutely.
We were struggling out there. So
yeah, it was a tough day.
It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Let's go have a beer.
I think let's get some food and a beer.
All right, let's go. Okay, with Whiskey 6TED here. Didn't record our QSO from Greens Peak here because it's blowing like 45, gusting 50 up here. You wouldn't be able to hear anything I said outside the vehicle. I'll give you a shot out the window of some beautiful views here. Just know that we finished Greens Peak. Okay, we're currently at the trailhead for St. Peter's Dome. As you can tell, this area is closed for motorized stuff. We're hiking in, so it's no big deal. Ted is fired up and ready to do some hiking, so let's get on the trail. Okay, just heading off into the forest here. This is a forest bushwhack summit, and we're kind of just zigzag up. I'll throw a chart here so you can just see what the mountain looks like. But it's spring, so not a whole lot of water yet, not a whole lot of green. All right, here comes Ted. The zigzag continues. This is one of the hardest summits, but it sure is pretty.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Hey, so we're at the summit. We're in the AZ, like within 20 feet of the summit. Ted just went up behind me here, and he wants to touch the summit. That's a good place to set up there too. That's where I normally set up, but I thought I'd set up down here. Not gonna say that was easy. A lot of zigzagging. Hit this little ridge though, and then you come up. So we're gonna set up and see if we can't get this one. I'm gonna sit down in my chair, grab my peanut butter and jelly, and eat while I crank some cool waves in our atmosphere. Thanks for that one, Steve. Okay, I know this looks a little wonky. Got this on. Note to the pro tip here: when you get to a summit, you're all sweaty, and sometimes you can really get chilled down. So I always have at least one layer to throw on. Remember, you lose about 3 degrees per 1,000 when you're climbing, so it can be quite a bit colder. Today, wind's a huge factor. I got 2 extra layers. Woo, it's windy. I don't know if you're gonna hear these QSOs. I'm gonna record a couple of them, so we'll just see what happens. I'm starting to get alerts and everything else, so I'm definitely on the network. Let's get cracking. There's Daryl. All right, Ted, how'd we do?
We did good. I just worked 20. It worked great. I got everybody. John, NT6C, first one that got me, came in strong. So 20 worked real well for me. I had a really nice antenna set up. The counterpoise was up high. I got the mast up. It was windy AF, that's for sure.
Okay.
Cold, but yeah, good activation. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a little bit more protected right
I
here.
got France. I got Christian too in France.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all on 20. So,
Yeah, let's see. I worked 17, 40, and then jumped up to 20 when I saw you backing up. So.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
What about you? 20 was the best, or did you get some contacts on the others?
I got a lot.
Okay.
I got a lot on all the bands. 17 contacts, so.
Yeah, I did about 15 just on 20.
Oh, band. Okay.
Yeah. So I was fine, and it just got cold with this wind chill.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, I don't know, it's just kind of funky right here, but I'm doing
I
good.
was right on the summit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
as you should have been.
It was good.
All right,
All right.
you ready for me to
Hey.
pack up?
I'm ready to end the road to goat. How about you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing one summit a day. Jesus.
Me too.
All right, we're back at the vehicle. I told Ted I wanted to know what it feels like to be a real man, so he's gonna let me drive his rig. You ready for that? No screaming or anything, okay? No screaming and yelling at me. We're here at the Ham Ninja Trailhead. We actually, because of the overlanding vehicle, we were able to drive a little bit farther up than my car for sure. I've never driven up this far. And in fact, as we go up this, we might find that Ted could drive all the way to the top, but this is a good point to stop and get a hike in. I made up a rule that your goat summit can never be a drive up.
Can't
So
do it as a drive up.
Yeah.
We're parking here and hoofing it the rest of the way.
yeah,
Come on.
we got a few more calories to burn.
Come on.
Come on, people. All right, let's get cracking. Okay, we're gonna do the final push here. It's pretty steep, so I'll be huffing and puffing. All right, we're at the summit. It's not far, but it's straight up, so it's a workout at 9,000 feet. Our Padawan warrior over there is getting ready to activate this summit. His fourth contact will mean he's got 1,000 points, activation points, and that will give him the award of SOTA Goat. So it's a milestone that many of us, strive for. Turns out it's not easy when you live in SoCal. And you're surrounded by one-pointers, which is great. And I've done a lot of those many times, and sometimes multiple times during the year, and you get no points if you do it more than once a year. But yeah, so this was a really big trip. Ted said he wanted to call this video the Road to Goat because hey, he didn't expect to really be able to make goat by the time he got here. And then on the drive over, I said, look, when we were heading over into the Arizona, over into the White Mountains of Arizona, I said, look, if we do this and this, and this, and etc., it's like you could literally make goat. So it penciled out, and it looks like it's going to work out for him. Barring like a lightning strike onto him, he's going to make it. So, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. So let's go watch Ted get those first 4 contacts. I'm going to put a little chapstick on, so when I lay that smooch on, it'll feel nice.
Oh, thanks. There's Daryl.
There's Daryl, Whiskey 7 Delta.
That's it.
Yeah!
Got the goat.
Woo! Woo! All right.
Well, that's about a wrap on the goat activation for me. And just want to say thanks to all the chasers out there. And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the Ham Ninja himself.
Hey,
Banging away on the key. Oh no, sorry, were you napping?
I was sleeping on the job. When you took all the contacts, I had to really dig in there for a while to get some.
Did you get the activation?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, good.
I got like 8 contacts or something.
Okay, good, good.
Some people were crazy enough to call me. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, so I just want to say 19 summits in 6 days. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it is. It feels like you dragged me up some of them.
Yeah, 188 points.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, and let's see, Arizona and New Mexico.
Arizona and Mexico. When, you know, we got a one-pointer in California like a week ago.
Yeah, boy.
You know, that was a
doozy.
What was that? Hummel Mountain High Point we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was great. So officially, thank you.
Yeah.
Not a lot of friends would
Congratulations.
drag their friends' asses around that many summits in a week. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great. You know, I never expected to hit goat on this trip. So
I know you're like, oh, we'll get close and then we'll come back
and finish it off.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Wow, talk about being on a mission.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, let's head back to the vehicle.
I'm pooped. I'm ready to get back and get a beer.
Oh yeah, me too. It sounds great.
Lock and load.
Let's do it.
Take the lens cap off, Chris. Sometimes I wonder.